And then we have this crazy thing that happened, right, on Tuesday, which he thought was Thursday.
So Donald Trump is already attacking Joe Biden on his history when it comes to Social Security and Medicare. So this is an issue that I've told you and others have told you will absolutely come up if Joe Biden is the nominee, which is why Joe Biden is not electable. Joe Biden has the weakest electability argument here because Joe Biden has a long history, and it's a horrible history. It's a history of terrible votes. It's a history of being fighting for the wrong things. And it's something Donald Trump will absolutely be able to exploit. And again, it's not that Trump's going to win Democratic voters. It's that Joe Biden, much like Hillary Clinton, will suppress the vote for Democrats, especially among people under 45. So first, let me show you this tweet that Donald Trump put out that I'm referring to here. I will protect your Social Security and Medicare just as I have for the past 3 years. Sleepy Joe Biden will destroy both in very short order, and he won't even know he's doing it. Also pointing fun here at Joe Biden, clearly not appearing to be all there. Now, look, when it comes to Trump, do I trust him here? No, of course not. And in fact, in their budget, in their 2020 budget, there were cuts, or there are cuts to Social Security and Medicare. But it's not going to matter when it comes to the matchup because it's all about suppressing the Democratic base. If Trump can attack Biden in enough ways and show the evidence, it's not that Trump is just attacking Biden over things that aren't real. It's that, no, Trump can actually put clips of Joe Biden talking about cuts to Social Security. He can put that into an ad and attack Joe Biden and suppress the base. Now, that's one part of it. That's his record. And this is just one part of his record as well. I mean, there's the trade deals that Trump will attack Joe Biden on. There's the bankruptcy bill. There's his Biden's support of the Iraq war. I mean, go down the list. Biden has been on the wrong side of history on every major piece of legislation. This, though, this is the other half of it. So as Bobby Lewis here tweets out, Fox and Friends plays a clip of Donald Trump attacking Joe Biden's mental capacity, ending with Brett Baer asking if Biden is damaged because I guess Baer can't get away with saying brain damaged. So watch this. This is also going to be an attack on Joe Biden if Joe Biden is the nominee.
It was all set for Bernie because I thought it was going to happen. We get ready for things, right? So mentally, I'm all set for Bernie. Communist, I had everything down. He's a communist. I was all set. And then we have this crazy thing that happened, right, on Tuesday, which he thought was Thursday. But he also said 150 million people were killed with guns, and he was running for the United States Senate. Support me, I'm running for the United States. There's something going on there. But I was all set.
Do you think Biden is damaged? Do you think he's damaged?
I think that Biden has been damaged, yeah.
All right. These attacks, are going to come, and it's going to be relentless. And again, it's based in reality. Like, let's say most of what Trump says are lies, or he, twists the truth somehow, whatever it is, always makes the truth somehow benefit him, or lies to benefit him. But in this situation, he can actually take clips of Joe Biden doing the very things he said. Joe Biden did after on Super Tuesday when Joe Biden won all those states. During his speech, he said Super Thurs instead of saying Super Tuesday. He caught himself, but things like that. And then he also mistook his sister for his wife. That happened during that speech. Actually, I think the Super Thursday may have been before Super Tuesday, but regardless, these are the kind of things that Joe Biden does on a constant basis. He did say, "Vote for me. I'm running for the Senate." And the sad thing about this is that some of this is like the way that Trump is presenting it, because Trump is a charismatic guy. He's a horrible, evil person, but he's a charismatic guy. Even when he called Bernie Sanders a communist, I laughed because of the way that Trump brought it up. How Trump, he was all psyched up for Bernie Sanders, going to call him a communist. Like, the way he presented that information, it was funny because Trump has charisma. And Joe Biden, look, maybe Joe Biden had charisma at one time. In fact, I'll admit that he did. There's a reason a lot of people like Joe Biden, despite the fact that he has a horrible record when it comes to his actual work in the Senate. But people like Joe Biden because he comes off as somebody, or in the past has come off as somebody who is, maybe could be your uncle, just, a nice dude, a nice old man. But he doesn't have it anymore. Joe Biden doesn't have it anymore. He's barely there. He can't perform the way that he once did. So not only is Biden's record horrible, but he now lacks the charisma that he once had. Just looking at Trump here, Trump will run circles around Joe Biden on a debate stage, let alone in the media, in the press, when he's interviewed. Joe Biden hasn't even done any long-form interviews yet because his campaign knows if Joe Biden's in front of a camera for longer than 2 minutes, he's going to say something dumb. The Democratic Party is setting themselves up for disaster if Biden's the nominee. Now, again, I don't want to hit the alarm bells yet. 2/3 of the states haven't voted. If you're in a state that hasn't voted yet, get to work. Knock on doors, phone bank, get your friends and family out. Get everybody out. Make sure when you go and vote, you bring people with you that don't normally vote. And make sure they support Bernie Sanders. Like, you have to nominate a candidate here that can actually go toe-to-toe with Donald Trump and is the antithesis of Donald Trump, is able to call Donald Trump out on all of his crap, all of his phony promises. Like, when Trump said, you'll all have health care in 2016, which was a complete lie. In reality, Bernie Sanders is the only one out of the three of them with an actual plan that guarantees health care to everybody. And that's just one example. But you need somebody that, even apart from the policies, which are all on the side of the people when it comes to Bernie Sanders, apart from the policies, you need somebody who can actually be in a debate, who can actually be in the spotlight in an interview for half an hour, who can actually go toe-to-toe on a stage with Donald Trump, with all the lights on them, the crowd there, has the ability to perform in the way that you need them to. Joe Biden doesn't have that. If the party nominates Joe Biden, they are setting themselves up for a disaster. Joe Biden he's barely been vetted. I haven't even mentioned the lies that Joe Biden's been telling, that Trump, again, could easily use to suppress the base. Joe Biden lied about being arrested in South Africa trying to meet Nelson Mandela. Joe Biden lied about his involvement in the civil rights movement. These are two things easily put into a commercial to attack Biden, suppress the Democratic base. If Democrats nominate Joe Biden, it's very likely he will lose, which is why it is so important if you're in a state that hasn't voted yet, or if you're in a state that has voted and you have the freedom, the ability to maybe go to a state that hasn't voted yet and door knock with them, volunteer with them, then do it. Everybody has to ensure that Joe Biden is not the nominee and that Bernie Sanders nabs the nomination.